Hey guys, it's Sharon from Digital Nomad Quest, and today I want to tell you guys about how I spent less than $1,400 a month for 9 months while traveling the world. So as you know, I traveled for 2 years, right? But I'm only including 9 months for this video because for the first year, I spent about 3 months of it in Hong Kong and I have family there and I have a place to stay there. So I didn't count that for this video. And then for the following year, I did some trips around US and Canada. I did spend some time at home and it just kind of was not the same as the first 9 months where I was going month to month. So I wanted to make it as accurate as possible how you can actually do the same. So I want to tell you guys a little bit more about how you don't actually have to spend that much money to travel around the world. So first off, I think it's important to talk about this because a lot of people think crazy expensive to travel, right? But what I found was actually using Geographic arbitrage could actually save me a lot of money while I was building my businesses. So if you're actually thinking about building a business and where you're living costs a lot, this is actually a good solution for you in terms of lowering your expenses so that you can work on, growing your business and then increasing that income, because you don't want to be at that place where your expenses are so high that you can't last that long and you don't have enough time to build your business. So let's backtrack and let me talk about where I'm from. I'm from the Bay Area and I want to tell you guys about how much it costs to live around here, right? So we're going to do a quick analysis of San Francisco's cost of living. So as of April 2019, the average rent of an apartment in San Francisco is $3,933. So that's freaking insane, right? I spent $1,400 a month and it just costs that much money in order to rent a place in San Francisco. And then 1-bedroom apartments in San Francisco rent for $3,600 a month average. 2-bedroom apartments rent for $4,690. So this is data taken from rentjungle.com. And now if you're gonna buy a place, according to smartasset.com, in Q4 of 2018, the average monthly mortgage rent is $4,254 in San Francisco. So either way, renting or buying in San Francisco, you're kind of screwed. It's extremely expensive. It's kind of unfortunate that I live here. I still love the Bay Area though, so that's why I'm back here. But it can cost a lot of money in the Bay Area to live here. So that figure doesn't even include food, entertainment, transportation, and other expenses you might incur. If you add that up, that's gonna be a lot of money that you spend in San Francisco. You're gonna have to have a lot of roommates to save on that rent. But even so, I hear of people spending at least $1,500 a month on rent if they share with a bunch of roommates. So as you can see, my $1,400 a month traveling the world was actually a lot cheaper than even renting in San Francisco. Now, as you can see, I am in one of the most expensive places in the world. So let's take a look at average house rent across the nation. So according to CBS News, rent prices across the country average at $1,231 each month. The good thing is the median prices are about half of that. But as you can see, compared to that national average, it's actually very affordable to just go out, travel around the world, find the cheapest countries to live at, and then sort of build your businesses while kind of having fun around the world. Now let's talk about that $1,400 a month and where I visited. All right, so let's break down the amount I spent in those 9 months. So I left to travel May 31st of 2016 and I came back home May 9th of 2017. So I am not counting my stay in Hong Kong, which was 87 days. So in total, it was 256 days that I'm counting. So my total came out to be $11,766.98 for 256 days. This meant I spent $45.96 per day, which would have come out to $16,777.14 for 365 days the entire year. If I averaged it out and prorated it, that would have come out to that amount. So again, this amounts to $1,398.10 per month. So that is pretty insane because I basically included flights, accommodations, any type of Ubers or taxis or bus rides, public transportation, entertainment, and basically everything was included in this price. I ate out basically almost every day. I did initially start trying to cook when I was in Greece, but that's about it. Let me tell you guys about the places I traveled to. So in the beginning, I started off in Stockholm. Okay, that place is really expensive, right? So I only did like 5 days there. And then I went to Athens, Greece. It was freaking hot and humid. I do not recommend going there around the summertime. But anyway, after that, I went to Bucharest, Romania. After Bucharest, I did a few days in Berlin, and then I did a month in Lisbon. After that, that, I did a few days in London. Then I went to Korea, then Hong Kong, then Chiang Mai, and I also visited Kuala Lumpur and Krabi for a little bit. And then I visited Vietnam, Taipei, and then I went back to Hong Kong again for a bit and then went home. So that should have basically covered my year, and then I kind of subtracted the Hong Kong days. So each place I went to, I spent about a month at each place. And I basically would eat out every day. I would, look for places to go. So the way I found these places was numbeo.com and nomadlist.com to find cheaper places that were fun, cost efficient, and safe. So that's the beginning part of it. That's how you're gonna save a lot of money if you travel to the places that are a lot cheaper, of course. So number one, research the places you wanna go to. Number two, to save money, you should book ahead of time. So I actually booked 6 months of it ahead of time. Because I did that, I was able to get best prices on flights and accommodation. And then number three tip, I used Airbnb. I used Airbnb for my stays. I did private rooms or private apartments, and basically I would do a month at each time, and then I would actually get discounts because I would do a whole month. So Airbnb accounts for that. If you look for places on Airbnb, there are places that you can get cheaper prices because of the amount of stay you take. Number four tip actually is you can actually contact Airbnb owners to see if they can do a lower price. Sometimes they can't, but other times they actually can. So see if you can negotiate with them. Number five tip, track your expenses. That's what I did, right? When I tracked my expenses, I was able to save a lot of money because I could see how much I was spending. I could see when I needed to cut back and spend a bit less. And I was still able to maximize the amount of fun I had. I went out all the time. It was a good time. Another great tip is actually, if you can, just only use a carry-on and a backpack. So that's what I did so that I could save a lot of money on those budget flights from country to country because I didn't need to check anything in. And usually that costs extra money. So you should check, Ryanair fees and things like that, because sometimes if your bag is too big, Ryanair is going to charge you for it and force you to check it in. So, it's helpful to kind of have less belongings. It's also easier to travel with less belongings because you don't have to lug something huge every place you go. So I found it very helpful to only have a carry-on and a backpack. I mean, essentially most of the cost is going to be from the flights and accommodations. So hopefully these tips help. And in terms of budgeting for food and entertainment, that's going to require some smart thinking, some smart tracking of your expenses so that you don't overspend. So you can have a budget goal per day. And that's another tip actually. Have a budgeted goal per day that you're not going to spend over a certain amount per day. And that will help you in terms of saving money and making sure you don't overspend while you're traveling. So I hope these tips help in terms of how to spend less on your travels. And that was how I was able to spend under $1,400 a month traveling around the world for 9 months. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment below if you agree that nomading and traveling the world doesn't have to cost a lot. And let me know your experience with traveling long term. Also make sure to subscribe and hit that bell button to be notified of my latest videos. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.